in with the chat. So we can see your screen.
Bella, can you hear? Hi, I'm Amrita Rajpal. I'm an early years specialist. I've been teaching for 22 years, but I've been learning my whole life. And that's why I have a company named Edu Learn Grow. I'm passionate about creating learning environments that are engaging, meaningful, and fun for children. I'm also a sports nutritionist, an avid traveler, an active Rotarian. I'm the territory head for the Early Childhood Association Mumbai. I'm the founder of EduLearn Grow and the co-founder of the ABCD show.
Hi, I'm Bela Kutwani, also known as Big B. Big for the size of my heart and B for Bela. A fun loving person with a great sense of humor and a passionate pickleball player. National Core Committee member of Early Childhood Association, founder and principal Cosmic Kids International, co-founder Puppet Maestros and the ABCD show, an educationist and a puppeteer who helps teachers to make learning fun for children by using puppets as a tool for teaching. My vision is to help parents and teachers raise emotionally intelligent children.
Welcome to season 2 of the ABCD show. First of all, we'd like to thank all our viewers for viewing our show, for being so committed to your own learning, and for showing us all your love. We are all geared up to get you the best educators to enhance your skills and to take your knowledge to new heights.
We have some really exciting basket of offerings. We have our ABCD shows where we will call experts to talk about their best practices. We will introduce you to some really value for money and effective products and services. And we have some incredible courses that will help you gain mastery in the subject.
Season 2 has a different format. We will have Ask Amrita and Bela on alternate Wednesdays, where you will ask us your questions on child development and we will revert. And on the other 2 Wednesdays, we will have ABCD shows with speakers or we'll showcase new products or new ideas and innovations.
So, parents and teachers, email us your questions on topics relating to early childhood development, education, and rearing on the ABCD Show 6 at gmail.com. And we will be back with the answers on Facebook Live. Waiting to see you soon.
A fantastic introduction.
So, hi everyone, welcome to season 2. We are very excited to be with you again. And this week, we are going to introduce you to a new product. We all know that teaching and learning have both gone digital, whether we like it or we don't. So every child is on a mobile phone. And if the child is seeing the screen, of course, in moderation, then it's only sensible that the content is stimulating and teaching them something. So I'm going to be introducing two very important people associated with this product, and then we're going to ask them questions about this product. So we have Pawan Lalwani over here, and he is the founder and CEO of this educational startup. And let me tell you a little bit about him. So it's called Language Your Way, and they're creators of ABCD Quest. So Pawan has been a guest speaker at a number of local and international events. And he's also been featured by media outlets such as Startup Daily, Startup Smart, CCTV, Beijing, Business Today, Shanghai Daily, Tech Node, iAwards, etc. Pawan is also a mentor at various universities. He assists startups with bootstrapping, marketing, strategic thinking, and of course, gamification. In addition, he's on the advisory board of a number of startups, and he's invested in 5 startups till date. So Pawan is an innovative individual dedicated to creating a paradigm shift in the way people learn and work. Welcome, Pawan, to the ABCD show.
Thanks a lot, Amrita. Thanks, Bella. Thank you for having us on the show.
And
Happy to
Pawan
have
is
you.
here all the way from New Zealand,
Australia at the moment.
Australia, yeah.
So,
Australia. Okay, great. And we have Sajid, who's a partner, and he heads the business in India for ABC Quest. Sajid has spent 12 plus years in the corporate domain with companies like Times of India, Radio City, Subgroup, HT Media, and he has been instrumental in creating IPs, launching digital and regional TV channels. Sajid's passion for education takes its roots way back in the year 2014 when he started mentoring management students. And since then, he's been engaging with students at colleges like IFEL and Ecole Design Labs. So welcome, Sajid. Welcome to the ABCD show.
Thanks, Amrita. It was a beautiful introduction from your side as well. And thanks, Beda, and the both of us for having us on the show. We look at
Yeah, we're
adding
very
more
happy
value
to have
that we can.
Pawan and you both on our show, Sajid. Welcome to ABCD.
Thank
Thank
you.
So I think everyone here is just waiting to know what your company is all about, what your product is all about. So we'll just start with that.
Absolutely. So I'll just jump in and give you a quick high-level overview of it. So parent company is called Language Away, as Amrita mentioned. The name of the app is called ABC Quest. It's a role-playing adventure game. So the analogy what I tend to give is from an Indian context. Think of it of, Chota Bheem or Super Mario, but for learning, where you are Bheem in this open world and you learn through trial and error. And everything what you do is aligned to the curriculum. So essentially what we've built is a play-based learning approach, but we have taken the child on an adventure to learn and grasp new content, new educational material through fun and games. So that's essentially what ABC Quest is. We'll definitely talk more about, from a credential level, but from a high level, that is what we do. Sajid?
So I think, so I think I'll quickly, before I put in any insight on that, let's just give them a preview on the video so that they know a little bit more about the app.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Explore the world through play. ABC Quest will take preschoolers on a fun, educational journey. The game gets your child laughing and learning with friendly characters, emotional intelligence, and storytelling. Kids will explore the 26 levels of the game and enjoy interactive, fun mini-games on every level. They will practice writing the letters of the alphabet, learn vocabulary and pronunciation, with stories and role-playing adventures. ABC Quest is aligned to the International Framework curriculum. Regular tests monitor and improve the learning outcomes via the parent portal. To make sure the kids don't play too much, you can limit usage with the Sleep Now function remotely. ABC Quest's artificial intelligence personalizes every child's educational learning experience based on their strengths and weaknesses. Turn playtime into learn time.
So I think the video was lagging a little bit, but if you have to touch on it, it uses stories to actually teach kids. So think of this one giant story where the child gets into it and they're learning through play, but it's purely through the stories. But it's not only one dimension. So, if while we were waiting, we saw a lot of parents mentioning that their child watch some educational shows, National Geographic channels. The key here is instead of having it one dimension where you're only watching, in this case, you're actually watching and doing. So our central character is called Ash. And one of the key things is Ash is gender neutral. Ash can be a boy or a girl. So Ashwin or Aishwarya. And your character, your child can choose the character based on gender. So we're trying to get away the gender bias aspect out here. And as you keep going through the journey, what you learn is, if that character has learned a new vocabulary, let's say zucchini, you're asked to repeat the vocabulary into the microphone, and based on your pronunciation and the accuracy, you get stars. If you learn, let's say writing a letter, you actually asked to follow the instructions in a sequential manner where you're learning to, in a way, trace the letter out. We saw there was a phonetics teacher as well. So, the child learns phonetics as well. So they're practicing the phonetics for the letters. So it's kind of looked at from a preschool level. What are the essential things you need to learn, and it gets covered in. And one of the things is everyone claims that they have the best curriculum, the best pedagogy, best approach. So instead of us, taking that route and saying we are the best, what we did is we looked at who has the best education system in the world, and Finland stands apart there. And we got it independently reviewed and certified by someone who's, partners with the Ministry of Education and Culture. So that level, that puts a stamp that instead of me coming out here and saying, hey, it's the best product, and then, we try and brag on that, we've kind of got an independent thing. And, we have also been, if you look at our credentials, the Australian Trade and Investment Commission, which is a federal government wing, have actually considered us as education partners. So if you start looking at the entire wings from a delivery standpoint, what we are doing, we've got quite a few government grants, so there's been a lot of support from the government as well as, the community.
So Pawan, how long has it been in India right now, this particular product of yours?
So we've been in the Indian market. Sajid, I think Sajid will be the right one to answer this. Sajid is the business head of India.
So it's been typically, so we've been doing our research before entering the market, but from an activation standpoint, it's been 5.5, 6 months as on date that we've entered the market. And in the last 6 months, instead of going on a particular single platform, what we decided is that let's follow the map of India and let's look at reaching out to each and every possible state. And that's exactly what we did. So currently, if you pick up the map and say that which state are you not present in, it might be difficult for us to pinpoint, because as on date, we are possible, penetrated right from a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities as well.
That's nice.
Sajid, are you only in India or are you in other places also?
No, so we are in 3 other countries besides India. So one of the
countries.
Correct. So one of the key things is when we decide to get into a market, we want to have resources and people on the ground, as opposed to just launching it on the app store and, the world takes it. So we've been very focused in our approach. As a startup, we have to channelize our resources accordingly. Yes, we have been fortunate and we have raised 2 rounds of investment. But, it's one of those things where you still have to be strategic, and you've got to be really mindful on how you look at the market. And how you decide to, take the approach head on with the market.
Another question, Pawan, is what age group does this app cater to?
Sure. So it's your preschooler. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're actually adding for a 6-year-old as well, a lot of content. So one of the key things what, we have found out here when we're working with schools out here, the kind of requests coming from schools out here is very different from the other countries which we're in. So we are actually incorporating a lot of those, a lot of the feedback which has been provided by schools, that can we see more of X, can we see more of Y? So, there's major updates coming on, including going into regional languages. So you're going to be seeing one of them, in fact, in the next 30 days, you're going to find it coming in Marathi.
Wow, that's nice.
And having said that, we have schools in Kopargaon, Akola, Shirdi, leave Mumbai, Pune aside, but we're also in the other markets. But it's been really interesting that, and we just decided as an experiment to try it in Marathi and see how it's going. And yeah, we're having Hindi, of course, rolled out pretty much in 60 days from now, but we put Marathi as preference because I lived in Mumbai for 10 years. So I have a soft corner, and I said, if we have to do it, we first have to go by getting Marathi on board.
Okay. But then Hindi will be a good option because of regional language, so national language actually, yeah.
Very nice, because children can learn a lot of languages in this age group. So it's wonderful to be introducing them to different languages also and
Right.
learning from
In
it.
fact, just adding on over here, since like what we've looked at is India is dominated by the Hindi market, but if you actually go down state by state, market by market, you'll find more than 100 of languages that exist in India.
True.
So we are actually trying to drill down further and look at going a little bit more regional, so Gujarati, Punjabi, Tamil. But that's again going to be the course of time for 21 for us. And
True.
as of now, we roll with Marathi and Hindi as a top priority.
Do you
The
think
language
people?
that you're teaching, sorry, Bela, you continue.
I was just wondering whether the app really helped out because of the pandemic, or people buying more of the app because of that, or what do you think was the reason for people going into an app like that at this particular stage?
So we are actually a B2B2C entity,
Okay.
which means we're a business to business to consumer. In simple words, what that
Mm.
basically means is we work with schools.
Right.
So we don't go directly and sell. We don't really, you won't see us promoting and, having those Facebook ads or, those things, those banners out. We don't really do that. We work with schools. And
Okay.
the way how it goes is, when we work with the school, we kind of give them a wholesale price,
Okay.
and there's a retail price out there. And besides that, we provide them a lot of non-monetary benefits. So there's a lot of intangibles, so right from connecting to any school, which we are working with domestically or internationally, where there's a teacher to teacher exchange or an owner to owner exchange, or there's a knowledge exchange, or maybe even they want to have a sister school relationship, or whether when we're looking at what you guys do at ABCD is absolutely perfect from professional development, because what we have seen is whether you're in the US or in Australia, if you don't have continuous development for your teachers, you actually lose your license to teach. So if I'm a teacher and I don't spend 20 hours a year in upskilling myself, I would actually lose my license. Versus in India, that's one thing which I feel is missing. So what we try and do is when we speak to the school and we want to liaise with the school, we kind of understand where can we actually provide value to them. So for example, we might work with ABCD and come up to ABCD and say, hey, there's sessions where someone needs it. Now we were working with a school in Danapur in Bihar, and they told us we don't want your foreign educators coming and telling us things. We actually want phonetics for our teachers. And we don't want a foreign teacher doing it. We want a Indian teacher so that we don't have an issue with the accent. So we actually
Yes.
organized that. But it was really interesting. Like, we would have, if you had asked us 6 months ago, had we even thought or envisioned that, the answer would have been a plain no. We would have said no, they would want,
Right.
from the US speaking to them, or someone from Germany talking on a specific thing, or from Finland. But yeah, that's the nature of the beast, I guess. So I think when we work with schools, there's a lot of benefits which go besides the monetary. There's a lot of non-monetary things. I know someone in the chat had mentioned about Peppa Pig. I'm sure we will
That's
talk
something
about.
that Pawan's gonna, yeah. Pawan, that's Pawan's favorite topic, I think, and that becomes more relevant in today's DNA.
Yeah. So one of the things that we also do is we provide information to schools on the latest updates. Or so there was this one thing which happened, I think, around about 6-8 months ago, where in a Peppa Pig video, which was on YouTube, it was a 15-minute video, a 12-minute video, and round about the 8-minute mark, there was a Muppet which appeared on screen and said, "Hi, my name is Momo. Pick up the sharpest object around you and hurt yourself. And if you don't do this, I will hurt you," and vanished. Um, and imagine, you're watching Peppa Pig with your child and something like this happens. And God forbid you just go to the kitchen, come back, your kid's saying Momo. You don't really understand what's happening. Oh, it must be a character. And, God forbid your child does anything, you'll never forgive yourself. So if an information like this comes up, or if there's any trolls, which, there was a recent thing on e-safety again. So we pass it on to the schools, and we hope that the schools pass it on to the parents immediately. Talking about that Peppa Pig video, it took 40,000 parents to actually complain to YouTube that take this video down. So generally what we do is when we work with schools and based on what's happening, we recommend instead of using YouTube, use YouTube Kids. Because YouTube Kids is every single video is viewed by a YouTube or a Google team member. So it's actually being filtered and it's safe for your child.
Thanks for sharing. In fact, even I heard about the Momo incident, and it's really very scary. Yeah.
And very relevant today that
Absolutely.
Parents, teachers, educators have this information. So it's wonderful.
Absolutely. And I'll just share one of the most recent one is, I think um, late December, there was a man who committed suicide on TikTok Live. And what we started seeing was a lot of trolls were distributing this video as titled "Funny Cat, Funny Dog" videos. So this is as recent. So whichever schools we were working on, we had a disclaimer and a notice out that please pass this on, particularly because as we would sit and watch such kind of videos with our kids. So just to be mindful before videos are being played, just check it out yourself. So sorry, I just had to mention that because I think it's
it's
very
very important. Yeah, true.
And I think it's very relevant in this space because I think a lot of parents and a lot of educators just pick up things from, the net and give it out. And that's not wrong because, today's day and age is such that we have to pick up things from the net. But if you have something which has already been screened and you have something which is developmentally appropriate, and then it's important to buy something which is developmentally appropriate and has a well thought out, the processes are all well thought out while it's being made.
I
Correct.
200% agree with you on this. And I'm one of those. I'm a value driven person. We are a value driven organization. And anytime you speak to anyone from our team, we aim to provide value. And we're not concerned whether you buy a product or not. So we will still share, if we have a chat, we'll be more than happy to share a lot of things. And Sajid would be one of the person who could tell you about when we talk about a lot of the free stuff. Because as a policy, everyone on our team tests 2 apps daily. So we want to know what's out there and we keep testing apps. And I'll let Sajid narrate an incident when he was testing a particular app which had a few million downloads. What was the situation? Over to you, Sajid.
So this is a spot which I don't like to be in because while I was testing the app, this was on the Google Play Store as a recommended app for 3 years plus, and it had precisely 2.9 million downloads. While I started the app, I actually was shocked for 2 minutes because it opened up to a scene where a husband and wife are in bed in their nightwear, and the wife probably wanted to entice the husband, but the husband was busy playing a poker game to make money online. And this was the content for a 3-year-old app.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm not sure we as parents or educators would want to expose our children to any kind of content, because a lot of times what happens in free apps is that nothing is free. You never have a free lunch or dinner. You're exchanging your personal data as currency to purchase free content. And very frankly, you do not know how your data is being manipulated or controlled in the open world. And that's the biggest truth that we all need to wake up to, saying that nothing is free, and what you choose is going to define your data usage in the world. And there have been many much more such instances where we probably end up sharing our data for free content and we get targeted with ads. Like, for example, Google, in case of ads, they can't control what ad will get shown to you in your own device. It's an age group targeting that they do. So I think that's wherein my background from the advertising or media as an industry would come in, saying that, you know what, you can't penetrate to a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, that you cannot stop them from viewing an ad. For example, today, when you're on YouTube, you've watched content with ABC Kids or XYZ. It's a similar bucket that will be shown to you. Like, I don't know, a Lux Fairness ad during watching a Peppa Pig cartoon. Now, how is it relevant to a 2-year-old? But still, an ad comes on board. And this is just one example. In fact, while Pawan was mentioning about Peppa Pig, I'll give you a couple of instances which will throw some more light. Not sure if you know that Tom and Jerry certain episodes have, because of pretty pure violence in them. Shin-chan has got banned in India. SquarePants, SpongeBob has been banned in India, and still we continue to show it to our children on different channels. Now imagine if that's the stature of cartoons in India, which have been banned and yet are on air, and we don't do anything about it but just put the TV on and leave the children to it. Because very frankly, in a day of 24 hours, the child will sleep for 12 hours, eat, play for 2 hours, 2 hours of schooling. He still has 10 hours, 8 hours to kill. And during our convenient time, when we avoid saying, no, we don't want screen time, But when we want a break, we'll just pass on the mobile saying YouTube dekh lo. It becomes a break for us. But for a child at that point of time, that break can be pretty harmful. So it's about the good screen time versus bad screen time, and what all educators, all parents need to understand the differentiation.
So that brings me to the next
Absolutely.
question, Pawan. I want to ask this question to you. It showed this to me when you were doing a demo about the screen limit that you'll have in your app. So we can throw some light on that. Would be really nice.
Oh. So, when we were building the app, there were two things. I'll touch on one point earlier and I'll come back to this. Is we wanted to build an app which if I have to give my own child, I'm not even going to think twice. That was the kind of thing, we took it a very ground approach from a child-centric approach from learning, but also from a parent-centric approach that what I want my child to say and not say. So when we start off with that, we kept no ads in our app. So, we had a similar option of choosing to have it as a free app and monetize through ads. And when we went into granular, we realized we could not actually monitor which ad comes through. So the ad which Sajid had narrated of a husband and wife in bed, that was a rummy ad which came through, which shouldn't have come through. So, we said no ads. And also, we had a very big pizza company, I can't take the name, offer us lots of money to say, can we have our brand in your story? So when the character is, teaching to make a pizza, our brand comes in. And we declined it because we didn't want any in-brand placement. So, that was a very conscious decision. And now going back to, Bella, your question on, we were talking on screen time control, we looked at World Health Organization guidelines on screen time. And it essentially says under 2 years, you should have no screen time. Post 2 years, 1 hour a day is acceptable. And as Sajid touched on that, it's good screen time and bad screen time. So if you look at WHO, they're actually claiming that you as educators and parents need to define between good screen time and bad screen time. So if you think, for example, National Geographical Channel is good screen time, it's okay for your child to watch an hour extra or 30 minutes extra. You do not have that cut off period. And versus bad screen time. So, I know someone gave an example of Peppa Pig, but I will, sorry to do this, but in Peppa Pig, there's this instance where you have Peppa Pig saying silly mom and silly dad. Now, culturally in India, imagine your child, you're out for lunch or you have family over and your child says silly mom, silly dad, and refers you to first name basis or silly mom, silly dad. Are you going to take it in the right spirit? And the answer is no, because as Indians, this is not our culture. We're not going to, it won't get digested really well. So here's the thing, so Peppa Pig is actually, if you listen to what they say and do, it does sometimes fall under bad screen time. So it's very tricky because parents would need to watch a series first before they give their child, but it's episode by episode. You could have a good episode of learning, but another one which is a little gray. But what we did is when we were looking at screen time, we understood that it's very important. Yep, I can see Ujjwala saying, I've watched
Yes.
Pacific saying they use the word stupid. So here you go. If you normalize that and you think it's okay for your child, because what your child is going to hear, they're going to imitate because they love the character and they resonate with the character. So that is why it's important to make sure that what you are giving your child is actually having that level of filter or screening. And it gets really difficult because you kind of limit yourself with the kind of things, but thanks to the internet, you will hear what else is out there. But going to the app, when we were talking about how to control screen time, what we realized, every child, they keep talking about how do I control, my child spends a lot of time on TV, watches YouTube, plays games. And this is a consistent thing across all parents where we hear, it's the pandemic, my child has been using screens and we don't want our child to use too much of screens. What we did is, Sajid had played the video as well. We allow you to control screen time. So 20 minutes a day is the maximum you would get out of the app. Automatically after that, the app shuts. And the way it shuts is the main character is called Ash. Ash says, I am tired and I'm taking a nap. So if I have to put it into perspective, think of it this way. If, we're playing Tom and Jerry, let's say Sajid is Tom, I am Jerry. If I do not come out of my house, Sajid will not be able to chase me, run around, do different things. So this kind of limits, the kind of interaction of the child saying, "I want more." So that's one way we've controlled screen time, where we don't allow the kid to go beyond 20 minutes. Now, there's some parents which feel 20 minutes is a lot. Some might feel 10 minutes is all what my child could get. So we have the system in the back end where the parent can actually go into the back end. So the child is playing on the app, the parent uses a different device, a laptop, another phone, goes onto the back end, presses this button called sleep now, and the minute the parent presses sleep now, within 2 minutes the app will shut, and it will give the same thing: Ash is tired and taking a nap. So because your child resonates with the character Ash, similarly how your child resonates with a Peppa Pig or a SpongeBob or a PJ Mask, that aspect your child keeps the device down. So we make it our effort is to ensure that the child does not go overboard with the app. The second thing is your child does not throw tantrums, because generally, if you tell your child that, hey, it's time for me to take it away, everyone starts throwing tantrums. No, I want to play 5 minutes more, 2 minutes more. But the minute the character themselves says, I'm going to sleep, your child cannot do anything. The app just stops by itself. And from a learning perspective, it stops there. Next day, you jump and continue. At the same time, let's say you stopped it for 10 minutes, you want to give your child, after an hour to continue, because the app shut for 24-hour period. The parents can go from the back end, press wake up, and the app starts again and it's on. Or they can solve a difficult math problem. And I'm saying difficult for a preschooler who is like 2, 3, 4, 5. If you ask them 7 plus 5, that might be a challenge for them to solve. And you throw that question, you solve it. But I never recommend you use that, because once the child realizes that mom or dad can actually solve the math problem and get me back in, then the tantrums will start. So you rather just go like, hey, Ash is sleeping, I can't do much.
I love
Wonderful.
that idea, really.
Yeah, it's really nice. So can I ask you all to share some more features about the product? Because I remember when you showed us this deck, Sajid, there was the talkback feature, which was very interesting. So there are a lot of features over there. I'm sure our audience would love to know more about.
So I think over here I'll let Pawan talk about the
No,
entire
go for it.
school
Sajid,
of
go for it.
learning. No,
Sajid,
I'm not going to talk on that. So I'm just going to give you an insight in terms of, let's assume today, while we as adults or we as children also go to a theater to watch a movie, the entire 3D or 4D experience, right? Why do they create it? Is to engage the movie goer to make it more of an experience for them, right? Now, that's not possible till date from a tech perspective in our mobile phones. So our challenge was, how do we make it more engaging? Because we already have a storytell format. We already have 2,500 lines of dialogues in the app. We've got you with nursery rhymes, with games. You're already there. And the last leg was creating something which would engage a child further. And that's wherein we got voice to be an integral part, where while we're teaching phonetic or the vocabulary, we will actually let the child repeat those letters or the pronunciations after the characters. Now imagine a 3-year-old, while he's become a part of the game, now he actually exchanges dialogues within the game. His excitement level just jumps up, right? And while that happens, they become an integral part of the game, and they would want to be on that game. So imagine your child who's throwing a tantrum to go to an online school or physical school and learn over there, but he's sitting on the app and playing and revising his concepts without any pressure. So that's the reason of getting that voice within the system, so that from an engagement standpoint, your child is going to be there with 100% concentration level. Over to you, Pawan.
So I generally tend to use, I think in 1970s, there's a very famous educator called Edgar Dale, and he had come up with this, which is called the cone of learning, where you retain 10% of what you read, 20% of what you hear, 30% of what you see, so on and so forth, different combinations, but 90% of what you do. So if you're doing a particular thing, like if you're in a simulator, you will kind of retain way more. So we took that approach of getting the child to understand the vocabulary. For example, you're learning about a donut, for example. You understand what the vocabulary is. then you see it, you hear it, then you actually practice by speaking into the microphone, and based on the pronunciation, you kind of hear it back, you hear your own voice on how you've said it, and you get a star-based system. So we don't really, when we talk about a star-based system, we don't really give it away and say, hey, you've got it right in the first attempt. We leave it as you've got 3 stars. You have a maximum of 3 stars based on how you go. So even if they get everything wrong, we give them 1 star because they have attempted. So we are in this excuse me, we're playing, we're working with this age group where we need to encourage kids. We need to allow them to express themselves. It's okay. Someone might be really soft. Someone might be loud. Someone might yell into it. That's let them express themselves. You don't want them to contain themselves. Over a period of time, they will understand how it works, and you want them to learn through trial and error. You don't want to spoon feed them. So as you speak into the microphone, based on your pronunciation, you're getting it. So that's one aspect, where you're learning from the feature wise. But we've also focused on one key thing when we talk about learning is when we look at the Indian education system. So I have lived, studied, and worked in Africa, in India, and now in Australia. And I can tell you that as Indians, we have rote learning ingrained into our system. And it's so strongly ingrained that very difficult that, I saw a recent post by someone talking about, the person didn't get good grades, but, now they're a NASA scientist, or, they're sending stuff to the moon and stuff. That's great because the focus was not necessary on, or the person at that point felt. But believe it or not, when I was doing my master's, I had that exact same thought that grades do not really matter. It's the experience, what you go through, and your hunger and willingness to learn, and that is what needs to stay, not only as kids, but as individuals and adults. Like if we are not hungry to improve ourselves every day, to be the best person we can be every day, and you can't expect your kids to randomly just have those qualities and features in. So it's about, we all have the power to do it. It's a choice, right? We just have to take that conscious effort to make yourself a better person, what you were yesterday. And when you're talking about comparing yourself in the app, you only compare yourself with your own scores. We never go ahead and talk about comparing with the kid next door, or you have a lot of these apps which talk about leaderboards, who's top in the thing. We don't want that at this age group. This is not the right age group to kind of instill that competitiveness. This is the age group where you spark their curiosity and encourage them to learn. And we were talking about the donut as an example. Kids are learning a donut. When we're talking about rote learning, every app which we have seen on the market, now I'm not taking it away from other people, is a tap functionality. So you'll see a vocabulary, you tap, an elephant will come, clap, and go on. So a lot of apps are saying we have so much content, we teach all these other things, but the delivery of how they teach it, it's just you're tapping on content, and just to say I've taught you, 100 things, you have done it. But if you ask your child, and I would encourage you all, anyone who has preschooler kids, and I guess we are working with schools, which have them. So if you go and ask a child, is an apple red or green or both or yellow? I want to know the answer. And most definitely you'll hear red as an answer because the flashcard shows red. If you look at any of the other material, it's always red. So again, in a way, we are at fault if we are only teaching the child one thing, and we need to allow the child to go, they could be yellow, they could be green, and that is what we're doing. So we work on contextual learning within the app. So if, for example, your child is learning about a donut, they get to color a donut. So you have a coloring activity. And mind you, this is all in a story. So the story is going on, you've learned about a donut, and midway, you're now coloring a donut. You color the donut, you check whether it starts with D or any other letter, you have that as sprinklers, and then the story continues. So, it's one cohesive story. So as I keep saying, think of the analogy, Chhota Bheem for learning, right? So it's not like you're just doing an activity of tracing, and it's, and then you go out of that room, go into another room, and now you're only practicing speaking. You go out of that, it's actually one big story which blends and talks to each other. So if you're learning about an egg, you get to cook an egg. If you're learning about a fan, you're understanding the concept of gravity because of the fan, right? These are a lot of the concepts which we introduce of contextual learning and not pure rote learning. So that's how we try to do it. And look, I could be wrong, but this is something which I strongly believe. When we were talking about learning and I sat down with my educators, that was one thing, the example which they gave me, which always sticks in my head. They said, close your eyes, draw your house up in the air, what comes to mind? And, I drew that triangle and then square and then a rectangle. I always do this. I do a chimney with smoke and I do these windows. And every time you asked, I would do that. And my educator asked me, is this the house you live in? And I said, no. And that was the point, that was the starting point when she said that during the development stage. She said, you have to give the child to think beyond. You could say that you want to do that, but if you don't do that, you're not delivering. So be true to yourself, so we tried to take it a very agile approach. And one of the things we did, and I think we were fortunate because we had 2 rounds of investment. We built 20% of the app and we got it tested by kids to see their reaction. Are they understanding? How are they feeling? What are their thoughts? Is the background disturbing them? And I can tell you one thing, kids don't really care. It's the parents which really care. Oh, this design does not look good. Oh, it does not look too polished. If I actually show you all the very first element of what we tested with the kid and the response of how kids were enjoying it, but if I show you how busy that screen was, because it was only 20% of the app built, and how, it was, when you talk, it's called agile testing. And when you look at it, the background is all green, it's not done. Now, of course, there are lots of colors and different elements in, but when we were testing it, it was not there. And kids didn't really care. The screen was busy and they were still speaking into the phone and saying, pronouncing the letter A, phonetically repeating going through all of that. And when we showed it to parents, they were like, oh no, it's, you need different variety, different screens need to be there. So they're used to a Yash Raj movie, that I want to see everything visually, but the kids don't really care. So, we started doing those changes only because the parents wanted it. The schools understood it, but they could not convey that to the parents because the parents said, oh, no, this is not, it looks very similar. But it's not about what looks similar, it's the educational content.
True, very true. So Sajid, sorry, go ahead.
I said the nicest thing about the app is that it's very interactive. So a child is totally engaged when the child is, playing with the app. I think all the other things fade into comparison because the child is busy with a focus and wanting to do something. And I think that is the purpose and the objective of the app.
True.
Absolutely.
I was wondering about Sajid, if a parent has bought the app, but they've got 2 or 3 siblings in the house. So do you have to buy that multiple times, or how does it work?
So I'll tell you, if they have 2 children in the house in the same age group, each app can have subscriptions for 2 of them within the same price. So they don't need to buy 2. They can just simply 1, and they can add 2 children. Now, again, a lot of parents have asked us saying that, what, if we buy the app and share the app, it won't work. Is because, again, the schematic or the backend that we've developed for the application makes the app unique for each child. So while, for example, you and I are playing on the app, it works differently for you, for me, because again, from a type of learner that you are, that kind of content is shown to you. So for example, you might be a kinesthetic learner, Pawan might be an audiovisual learner, Bela might be a more of a different kind of form of learner. So that content will be showcased to her. So let's imagine that today Bela took the app and shares it with Sajid or with Pawan. It won't work the same way for all 3 of us. However, if Bela has 2 kids or if Amrita has 2 kids at a place, she can use 1 subscription for both the children. I hope that answers the question.
Yes.
Sajid and Pawan, I think we're going to be running out of time. So we have the next just few minutes left.
Sure.
I want you to give a brief to all the people watching out here. Tell them a little bit about the app, because I'm getting questions about, be precise of what exactly is in the app. We've given them a whole overview, but I think we need to put it down, specifically on what the child is going to be able to learn through this app and how.
Sajid, do you want to go for it?
Sure. So I think if I can explain, that's going to be the point. I'll keep it very crisp. So ABC Quest typically is a role-playing adventure game that while the child is going to be playing, he's going to cover his ABCs, his phonetic, his vocab. Moreover than that, we are also covering developmental stages of a child across the social issues, across his interactive issues, across emotional issues as well that we are catering to. So different intelligences that we work on. Again, it's play and learn. That while a child interacts with different characters, he picks up personality traits. So your animal kingdom, your specific set of vocabularies, your read and do actions that you're working on currently are also getting covered. So right from the basics that you see that, for example, let's take an analogy of Lion King right now. While Lion King Simba moved into the jungle, he interacted with different characters that taught him how to survive, how to battle it out. The same format goes into the game that while a child interacts with them, they teach him daily habits, they teach him his life skills, they teach him his social skills. And that's how they move forward in the game. Now you can add to the polishing of that one. I just give simple
I'm
analogies.
just going to touch on a couple of things. One, when we talk about emotional intelligence, that's one of the key things which is covered in here. Now, I understand it's a part of the new education policy. We have been doing this for years. Storytelling is the key when we talk about delivery. When we talk about EQ, one quick example which comes to mind, and I've shared this with Bela and Amrita, that when you talk about EQ, we're talking about integrity, honesty, self-awareness, self-regulation, all these concepts coming in. But when you watch, movies, sometimes what's happened in real life, a call comes, the kid picks up the phone and asks for the father, and you'll say, "Papa ko phone dena." The kid goes to the father and says, "Papa, aapke liye phone hai." Papa will say, "Keh dena ki main ghar pe nahi hu." Papa, the kid repeats this. Papa ne bola ki wo ghar pe nahi hai. So this is a typical thing because the child does not understand the difference between truth and lies. It's an abstract concept. However, through stories, these things are addressed. Again, you have social etiquette. So, one of the things I have personally observed, when you give a kid a chocolate or a toy, the kid will, not say thank you. And the parent will look at the child and say, "Beta, what do you need to say?" "Thank you, uncle. Thank you, auntie." Now, this particular thing, it is important to get the child to say it by themselves. That is why through storytelling, what we see is while the child resonates with the story, like your Peppa Pig, they see that communication tools, that good afternoon, good evening, good day. What we actually saw, a parent or an educator told us that my child said good morning or good evening to a liftman, and she was so proud of her child that my child has actually said good morning, good evening to a liftman. So it's actually thinking of it like, not having that discriminatory factor and actually just going through your thing. So, your emotions are also there. So your sympathy, empathy aspects are also kicked in. So these are the different elements which are in the app besides your pure educational of your vocabulary, your colors, your patterns, your seasons. There's more, like, I think in the next 2-3 months, we're seeing a lot of the updates which the schools have mentioned us. We're having worksheets integrated inside that. Again, you're seeing every 3 months we have a minor update, every 6 months we have a major update. So you're constantly going to see more stuff coming on board. One thing which I'm going to say is if anyone, from a school level, are looking for it, I'm more than happy we can provide demos which will take your school through what all is coming into the application. You can test it out. What we have also done is we have kept a code called ABCD because I did ask Amrita and Bela for permission if it was okay to do this. But anyone who wants to, test out the app right now on the App Store and they use, the code ABCD, they would need to go to abcquest.com and there's a buy now button. And then at the bottom, there's a promo code. So if you actually type ABCD, you'll get a 10% off on the app when you're purchasing. So that's anyone who wants to purchase it directly, they can do that. If they don't want to purchase it directly, they want to have a chat with us and, they want us to take them through a demo, more than happy to do that as well.
Great, sounds good.
Right. So does it not teach
Baba,
math?
there are a couple of questions.
Sure. I can see them. So do you want me to
Yes.
just read that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there's a question. Okay, thanks. Going great. That's one. What's the name of the app? Available on the iPhone? Yes, it's on Android and iOS. So it's mobile, focused. It does not work on desktops. So does it not teach math or numbers? So it teaches numbers. So that's an update which you're going to literally see in the next 30 days. It popping up. It does teach your numeracy elements, but not to what you would like to see it. What I definitely mean is, like in India, they want to see 1, 2, 3, 4 written, writing.
Right.
We have taken
So
a
I think
different.
I'll just try and give a simpler thing of what we have done over here is that we don't want to show them that this is one apple, one ball, or two oranges. Instead, while the child is playing the game, we've used logical reasoning to let children understand what numbers literally would mean in real world. So for example, while you're doing a task or you're playing a game, you will have a counting elements in that you are supposed to catch, let's say 10 oranges or 10 apples. So without we telling them that these are 10, whatever number they catch, the number is flashed over there with an audio. And again, they are operating within a different defined time limit. So while a child plays on the first 4 or 5 levels and he starts seeing, okay, I've counted X number of apples, or I've caught so many apples, he starts getting the metric of numbers instead of just knowing what number 1 or number 2 does to their life. And thereon is what we introduce numbers. So that's the next step that Pawan is talking about from an update standpoint.
There's another question, I think, which is, does the app have features teaching about good touch, bad touch? So it's a really interesting one. Thank you, Saima, for bringing this up. I think from the sex ed part, it's really important that we bring it up slightly early. This hasn't been included in, but we will just put it in. So we'll sit with the team and ensure that this is something which goes in as well. So in one of the updates, we're talking about body parts and all, but we had not got to that part
Thought about
of
this,
good
right?
touch or bad touch. But I think definitely this is something we're going to do and probably encourage kids to talk. So I think our premise is stories and, it's role playing. So what we will try and do is, it's about how do we get that content in the way which is coming out in the right light. And at the same point, if there's any such incident which takes place of bad touch, we would think of a way with the educators, how do we get this out so that the child actually tells their parents if something goes, not in the right direction. So thank you, Saima, for bringing that up. But that's definitely something which we are going to address.
Incorporate, absolutely.
Does a school
Firdaus has, yes.
So there's a question from Firdaus, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
Firdaus, sorry. Does a school have to subscribe to this service, or has the parent to subscribe individually? So what we do is we work with schools. So it goes through the schools. Now, if I have to break it down, is when we're working with a school, we give them a wholesale price. So what happens is now as a school, it's up to you whether you want to pass on that same amount, a wholesale price, or you can do it at a retail price. So it's always done directly from the school because we're a B2B2C. So we always work with the school. We don't necessarily go directly to the end parent. The reason why we do this is because when we work with the school, we provide them free professional development sessions. We provide them free, any of the events we're having, they get complimentary invites. Any of the awards, there's no registration fee. They get a free, it's purely merit based. We provide them connections to other similar schools. So you might be a school, let's say, for example, in Chennai, and you want to connect with a school in Mumbai, or you want to connect with a school in Melbourne. We connect and you form your relationship with the school. So there's a lot of other things which we do for the school. That's why we always work with the schools as opposed to working directly. When we talk about schools, it's again up to you. Most of the schools incorporate it as a part of their fee, as an admission fee. They just plug it in. If someone asks the price, it's perfect with the pocket. Someone I saw that message.
No, I was getting to
Waiting,
that.
In fact, I was waiting to put that as a cherry on the entire conversation.
So if we have to put it into context, it's 1,200 rupees for a year. And if you break it down, it's 100 rupees a month. This is like the MRP of it, right? So at $100 a month, if you think of it, if you walk on the street in a month, it's most definitely your child would say, I want to have a chocolate, I want to have an ice cream, which will be worth more than $100. So We, when some schools, we spoke to a school today in Hubli, they were like, oh, we might not, we might find some resistance, with what the pricing is. And we just broke it down to him and he just laughed and he's like, no, it's fine. I think when you break it down to $100 a month and they take the fees, on a monthly thing, it does not even work out to be an amount. Absolutely not. Suppose an educator wants to tell children a story, example, The Lion and the Mouse. Does the app provide the background to help the children know what a jungle is? So yes, so if you go through the first scene of it itself, the lion is the king of the jungle. And in the jungle, you have the day, night, different seasons kicking in. So yes, you would see it's full story based. So yes, you would have that part where the story is being told. And the difference here is you are part of the story. I'm just reading if there's any other question. Does the app have features teaching about Good Touch, Bad Touch? We have covered that.
So yeah, I think Vinny has mentioned a question saying, does it allow a child to redo the level if it's not complete in time? And if there's a time frame? I think, Pawan, you can take that one.
I missed that. What was the question?
So it's in the Q&A. I think Vinny has mentioned over there.
Does it allow a child to redo the levels if they do not complete it in time and if there's time frame? Great question, Vinny. So we have levels. So after every 3 levels, there's assessment. If the child is not getting a certain amount of stars, it actually pushes them back to redo things. So absolutely the child can redo. In fact, what we have seen, kids keep going back and doing it over and over again. And I'll explain why. We teach kids to trace. So let's say left stroke, right stroke, dash in the middle for the letter A. The first 2 times we use sequential learning, which takes them through that structured approach. The third time is freestyle. They could trace it the way they want. When they do trace it the way we want, what we see is kids tend to trace bottom up. So this is how they would write the A, from bottom up. So here, instead of us telling them that you got it wrong, we give them 1 star. At some point, when they move down the track, they realize that they needed to trace it from top to bottom. Then they start going back through all the levels because they've got 1 star short to try and get that star back. So they're intrinsically motivated to go back and play it all over again. Hopefully that answered the question. I'm looking at the next thing is people are promoting a lot of coding and apps like Byju's. So is it relevant for such small kids? So I think the question is asking me particularly about coding. I actually am a person who does not like to badmouth any education player. I'm naive in a way because I think anyone who gets in the education space is not doing it from just a monetary angle. There's probably some good in it. Personally, if you ask me, I do not think coding is essential for this age group. It kind of gets more relevant when you're 5, in grade 5 onwards. I think that's where it works. However, if you break down, what are you trying to achieve from a coding level, your computation, your logical thinking, your reasoning, that gets covered within the app. So we cover the logical reasoning. Again, when we talk about that demo, we can take you through each of those elements, but logical reasoning gets covered, pattern recognition gets covered, and those kind of things are good. But again, I wouldn't use that one particular example, and I know certain companies have been in the limelight or in the heat recently for things not going on coding. But I think for early childhood, I would not feel coding is relevant. Probably when you're in grade 5 onwards.
But I think, like you mentioned, Pawan, it's not about coding. When we're learning math, when we're learning literacy, and when we're learning coding, there's a lot that happens before we learn.
100%.
So, this whole pre-thing which is happening over here is very, very relevant for a child to learn. So just like we climb up steps, so we are here at the bottom rung, climbing up these steps. Absolutely. So yeah, when you're looking at coding, yeah, these skills are required, and then they will progress on to learning coding.
100%.
There is this question out here. Does it cover all the domains of early childhood?
I had that open. I think Shruti had put it up. So I was scrolling through. So does it cover all the domains of early childhood? The answer is yes. we looked at the Australian early years learning framework as its base, that what are the essential things which need to be covered. So, again, we were talking about EQ. Now I'm glad, I think Bella spoke about EQ
Yes.
in her introduction, right? So yes, EQ is something which has to go, and I'm glad that, now the new education policy, it's being implemented. But if you look at the other international learning frameworks, they always have that part. So that's one thing. So we have covered all of that. The other thing is, because we've got it independently reviewed and certified by Finland, and these are guys who are partners with the Ministry of Education and Culture in Finland. That covers again another spectrum of all your essentials for early childhood. So we have made a conscious effort to cover it. Wherever we have missed out, we want schools and parents to just share information. Like that question on good touch, bad touch. If you ask me, I had not thought about it of including it, but now that it's mentioned, you will see it happening in 2021. So that's how I look at it. Things which are missed out. So if anything which we have in the app and you feel, no, I think this is not right, or this is missing out, it's just a conversation. Like we had one of these schools, when we were talking about Marathi, they said that you should have it in Marathi. And it was a conversation very early when we just started on, and I said, are you sure? And they said, yes, my kids would love it, because they learn through their mother tongue. They at home they talk Marathi. And Sajid would know which school I'm talking about.
Palagan
But
based school, right?
yeah, and they would just say, like, let's, if you get it in Marathi, our kids will love it, because English for them is yet a second language. And we said, cool, we took this suggestion on board. We have 2,500 plus lines of dialogues, 30 different voice artists. So we had a studio we hired a studio, we got professional voice artists. These are guys who are giving their voice in ads, so it's not that we have just got all our friends or, family that come on and we're going to do a session. I haven't considered that. I was like, what if we do it? Because the cost wise will be ridiculous. But I said, again, let's be right and let's be true. Would I want my child to use a product which is half baked? We've done everything right. And this is the thing we're going to half bake and put it in. I think we have the early learning framework. We are happy, Shruti, if we get on a call, we're more than happy to just put it out there and show you, tick, tick, tick. These are the things we have covered on.
I think Firdaus has
I
some
think
questions.
one question. Yes, I think before that, Ismat actually asked that, I think we should focus on HQ, which is happiness quotient. So I'll just quickly touch base upon that. In glimpses and bits and pieces, you will find instances within the game where
Sajid?
we've actually instilled the fact of being. Yes.
Sorry, Sajid. I was just thinking it's 5:09 right now. We have people who would possibly want to leave at this point. I'd want you to give them the code
Perfect.
before that. Just explain about how they need to get the
100%.
code. So then after that, when we talk and if they want to leave, they can also explore it on their own.
Sure. Perfect. So again, as Pawan has put it in the group, the code is called ABCD. So once you log on to abcquest.com, you'll have a buy option where you can input the code within the promo mentioned over there and redeem it. You'll get a 10% upfront discount. And that's about it, that you can try and download the app. And in case for in-depth demo, you always have options of reaching out through Amrit and Bela as well.
Yeah.
So
they can write to us at the ABCD show 6@gmail.com. We'll pass on all those mails to you and you can get in touch with them.
Yeah, so we have
Perfect. Now
actually
you can continue.
we have actually asked Amrita and Bela to help us out, because everyone will be asking for our details. So what we want to do is and also all these chats are there. So we've actually asked them, please share the chat and everyone who's sending emails with us. So
Sure.
you can get emails with them. But anytime you want to touch base, I think Sajid's there, plus I am there, and through Amrita and Bela, you'll be able to reach us at any given point.
Another thing I want to say at this point is Bela and I have vetted the app. We've
Yes.
gone through the whole thing. We've gone through the free version and then we've gone through the paid version also. So we've seen the app quite closely and it is really very, very nice. It is something that every child will learn. They learn phonetics, they will learn vocabulary, they will learn tracing. So the language skills are covered really well. personally, I feel it's very good for the play school and nursery, maybe the beginning bit of the junior KG, because it focuses on, language development. It also focuses on phonetics, letter sound association. So I think that part is really very, very nice. It's a nice setting. It's a good app. I would urge everyone to explore this. And ABCD always brings for you things which are efficient, which are cost effective, value for money,
True.
and things which should be got in your school. So,
You forgot one point of the app, the sleep
yes,
option. The sleep
yeah,
option is the best part.
true.
Yeah.
So just one thing, which I'll mention, which Amrita rightly pointed out, it's perfect until your LKG kind of feel. I think for senior KG in the next 2 months, you're going to see a lot. So the feedback which we've received, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, things have, slowed down. But we've got in this last 6 months, we've got some great traction. I think the smallest school we've had is I think with 5 students, and the biggest school we have is 5,500 students,
Wow.
and all relevant age group. So it's been such a mixed bag, but because of the COVID pandemic which has kicked in, and by the time we're getting feedback, by the time we're getting through, like, oh, we would like to see X, Y, and Z, it's taken that slight delay. But what we are seeing in the next 60 days, heaps of new content coming out, and we are touching on the senior KG aspects, particularly from an India standpoint, what they are looking to get covered. So I think 2021, you're just going to see new updates popping up, because while the pandemic was running through, the team was just continuing adding
There's
new
one
things.
more suggestion for addition is about separation anxiety that's mentioned in the chat by Winnie. Maybe that could be considered as well.
Yes.
Yes. So can you elaborate on the separation anxiety? Oh,
Especially
you
when
mean
the
good touch, bad touch. Right. Right.
no,
No,
separation anxiety is different than that.
correct.
When the child is going to go away from the mother into a school, that fear of the
Right.
For the
child,
first time,
that,
basically, after a long
Right.
time.
First time, got you. Got
right,
you. Well, I think that particular point, it falls under the parenting thing.
right,
We were actually thinking of doing something for hospitals. Whenever a child needs to go to a hospital, they get very nervous. They
right.
kind of cry. They're afraid of the injections. So we were actually thinking of doing something for that. But now that you're mentioning, as separation anxiety, that could be something we look at.
Again, I think it's the way in situations that you end up handling children. I think again in the app there are instances where similar instances are being covered. So someone who's anxious, someone who's an introvert. So we've ensured that children pick up that behavior. So instead of making fun of each other, they act as friends and help them overcome their anxiety. So again, in a way we've covered it, but obviously that's a point we're going to work in depth on it.
We have
So
somebody mentioning in the chat that they are already using this app and daughter is already enjoying this app a lot. So kudos to both of you.
no, I
Excellent.
think I'm glad. I'm so happy that
Yeah,
your daughter is enjoying it. I think I replied back. I saw that and I was like, that's
yeah,
really,
so
really nice.
sweet.
I just want to touch on one point on Vinny, what she said. We were talking about reinforcement. We kind of use a lot of positive reinforcement. When they attempt, we give them a star. One of the key reasons for doing that is again, we were building the app. Uh, my colleague was getting married, and I was sitting on this table, and it was she was getting married to an Australian. Is Chinese, and she was getting married to an Australian, and it was this traditional table sitting out there. And while we were sitting out there, there was a lovely couple next to me. I think they were close to 75 years old, and their grandson was right there. And actually the grandson was not there, but they were talking a lot about their grandson. It felt like the grandson was there, and he said he does not talk much. And the reason is, like, if you ask him anything, he would just nod as a yes or no, but not go beyond. And he was 5, so this is not traditionally what happens. So I suggested, I said, hey, look, it's not a shameless plugin, but if you think it's relevant, give it a try and let me know. And I think they came back with the thing going. I followed up in 3 months, because I do not like forcing. I give people the space. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. And I gave it complimentary because it was more like you're sitting on a table, and when you are invited, in India, if you're invited for a wedding, there are like 500 people or something. When you're out there, you'll have 30 people on it. So it's really intimate. And I was like, no, it's fine. I gave them a code. 3 months later, I checked and they said it did help their child to at least start because the pronunciation encourages you. And they just mentioned one point that, oh, he would get certain things wrong and he would try again. And I think that reinforcement, and I tried to figure out why, and they said, he gets a star, so he thinks at least I've done something right, as opposed to thinking I've not done anything. So again,
Sure.
I just thought of sharing that when I saw Vinny's comment there.
And I also saw in the app, there were different avenues to teach the same thing. So when you're learning letter A, you have the apples, picking, gathering up apples. You've got the letter tracing. You've got to go in a car and pick up or go away from the apples or whatever.
Right.
Pick up a bushel of apples or whatever. But anyway, there were a lot of different avenues revolving around the letter A. So I guess there is anyway a lot of reinforcement happening on the
Absolutely.
same thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that is one of the key things in this age group, right? You want to get it back,
Reinforce. Yeah.
reinforce, and then also we test. So we use the teach, test, teach from a pedagogy standpoint. So we first teach them and then we test them to see how they're going. So after every couple of levels, I don't think I mentioned this, but after every 3 levels, we test the child to see how they're performing and which areas are they struggling in. And, are they getting confused between a tomato and an apple because they look red, and similar shape. So again, that's all factored in and uses that to move from one point to the other.
Sajid and Pawan, both, do you get does a parent get a report like how much the child is
Absolutely. So
progressing? Yeah.
Yeah,
the school and the parent get a report. So
both have
Oh,
access.
that's nice.
So, in fact, within the app itself, you have a section called Parent Portal. The moment you click on it, the reports are
Okay.
bifurcated in terms of the screen time exposure of your child and the time taken for a child to complete a module or a level. And on that level, how the child has performed overall on his speech, his tracing, his letter skills, all of it.
Okay. That's
Sajid, you
nice.
might want to just put it on screen and just show if you can.
Let
So
me try.
if you can, because I know you have both your phones on, which one is the right one. Shruti, please don't call me sir. You can call Sajid sir if you want, but please don't
No, no,
call me.
no, 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 not definitely. I'm
We
younger than Pavan.
Yeah, but what? How many? A month or two? Is it?
I'm
Shruti,
younger than you.
sorry, Shruti, send us a mail and we'll pass on the mail with your details to Pavan and Sajid.
So, I'll just share one thing. In Australia, we are pretty flat organization. We have no sirs, no ma'ams, everyone on first name basis, and we have one strict rule. If any time I am bullshitting or I'm saying something which is incorrect, Sajid or anyone in the team, or even if we don't have interns, but if we have an intern, let's say tomorrow we have an intern, the intern can call me out and say what you're saying is incorrect and not true. And I would not take offense. No one from my team will take offense because if we haven't done something right, we haven't done something right. That's the kind of approach we take.
So
So
again,
this is
I've just shared the screen right now. Just giving you a breakdown in terms of how the parent portal looks like or the reports look like for the child. So the first right-hand corner gives you the modules that have been completed and how many days it has it taken for a child. So let's assume on 1st of Jan, child has started the app. From 1st to 10th, from 1st to 2nd, how often has he played? How much of screen time has he been exposed to on that particular day? And the last quadrant of the screen basically is talking about his breakdown of the results. So basically letter A, from a pedagogy standpoint, how has he done the overall letter, his speech, his tracing, his letter skills and assessments. So that becomes an easy point for a parent. Imagine today a teacher and a parent are having a conversation saying that Sajid as a child, he's not being able to pronounce apple or he can't get the phonetic of A. The parent can simply just make the child redo that level, or within the app, if they see that the child has got only 1 star at level B, they simply need to make them do the level again. And that's how the child will pick up what he has missed. And from there on, he'll build onto it.
great.
Nice.
So I just see another question out there. Someone said, if I want a gift as a birthday gift, how can we help? Um, I would have to ask Sajid to show you one thing which would, sorry, Sajid, I'm putting you on on the spot twice, not just one. But
No, it's okay. I'm always backed up.
I think it's a
Laila,
wonderful gift to give, first of all. Good idea.
absolutely. So,
Yeah.
I must say, Laila, in the last 2 months, I think around about December time, just after Diwali. So we had this idea just after Diwali where we were like, someone just randomly said this will be a gift. And I told Sajid, I was like, boss, someone said it can be a gift. What do you think? And he started speaking to some people, and there was a lot of interest from gifts, particularly birthdays and return gifts, depending on what you're doing. So, two ways how you can do it. One, you can do a digital copy of getting it. So, you could buy the subscription. You'll get an email which gives you the instruction and the code. You could use ABCD as the code. So, you'll get a 10% discount. Second, Sajid's getting a card. It's basically the scratch card. I don't know whether you remember, we used to get the scratch card and you needed a coin to do it. So Sajid will show you the card, and that will basically allow you to give it as a gift because it's a little more tangible. You can put it in a little, a little bag and a little pouch. So that's the
That's
front.
how the card looks.
And
And the back side has got the entire instruction manual. How do you redeem it? And this is the scratch card basically, which has the code. Once you scratch it out, you can just redeem the entire thing, and I think you'll have a year-long access to it.
I remember Pawan doing when he came to Cosmic Kids School. Yes.
exactly, right? So when I think I met Bela back then, we were
Yes.
like scouting the market, going, what do you think? And we were trying to think what were the things we were trying to anticipate in many ways.
Right,
What all
right.
would we need? And we just got these done printed, like we said, let's get them done and we'll see how we go.
It's a good idea. Very nice
Sajid,
idea.
how does Leila get the card?
So how does she get the card? You would need to contact us. So just shoot a message to Amrita or Bela, and they'll pass on our numbers. I know we are on Facebook Live and also I'm being very mindful to share my number it's out there. But
Yeah.
but in general, you can if you just jump on and send them an email that here you go, like we just need the card. We'll be able to flick across the card to you. And yeah, it's one of those where a friend of mine, his nephew was in Delhi, so he just got married. I think 2 months ago, and he gave that as a gift. So the difference was, I told him you'd have to pick it up because I'm not there. I told him, like, as a friend, and the silly goose paid me for it. So, I just feel like, as a friend, the least you can do is give it free. But his line was really interesting. He said, if I as a friend do not support,
Very true.
and you as an entrepreneur, how can I expect others to do it? And I just said, cool. So what he did, that cheeky person just bought it off online, and he took the card as well. So he paid me twice, which was kind of like, wow, okay, thank you. But
So if you buy it online, they can just use our code and get the discount. No, I'm telling them not to come
Yes.
to me because I want them to get the discount.
absolutely, look,
Absolutely.
it's no brainer. You use the code, you get a 10%
So you
discount.
use the code Leila and you can buy the card directly.
So what
And
you
you
do
can
is
get that.
correct. So what I would suggest, Leila, what you need to do is just send an email to Amrita and Bela. Let them know how many cards you need. We'll have to, because you're doing it, you're picking it up manually from the card. Because if you're doing digitally, you don't get the card. So just let them know how many you need. They would flick your details across to us. You can do the online payment, and we will mail out the physical cards to you. So it's just that one extra step because most of them don't want the physical one. There's another question which has come in.
I think, yeah. So I saw one from Firdaus. Is the same one you're referring to?
No. I was just scrolling. Oh, go ahead. If I'm just looking at the chat. Sorry, Sajid. over
So
to
I
you.
think Firdaus has mentioned one important point, that saying what she can gather from this app is that it supports children to learn while they are at home. Could you shed some light on how it helps an educator to teach things as learning is being done online in its present circumstances? So I think while Pawan was talking about the contextual learning and the relevant examples that we used form a build on for a child for his principles of learning, I think Pawan, you would want to take this question right from that aspect is because you touch base upon those points, and it's just going to be a reiterate for you.
Yeah, but I'm just going to touch if I understand correctly what the question is. Kids are using it at home. How can the school benefit while the kids are using at home? So there's two aspects to this. If you look at the Indian policy of number of teacher to student ratio, I think it's 1:15. Um, the challenge, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amrita and Bela, you'll probably have a detailed thing. But from what I remember reading the policy in India, it said 1:15 or 1:12 is that number. 1:12, 1:15 is very hard to manage and understand how the child is learning, what they're doing. How can a school use this information is we have a full reporting element which goes to the school. So similar what Sajid showed, which is a very high level, we can give you the granular data of how the child has been learning. So the schools which we have been working during the pandemic, the way how they're decided to do is look at the data points, share it with the parents, but in a more sophisticated way. So if they understand that the child is struggling with tracing the letter, what they have done during their online Zoom sessions is they have done a lot of sensory play. So I'll give you an example. In every house, you would have a big thali where atta is made. So you put that big thali down, you put rice, fill up the rice in that thali, and ask the child to trace the letter A in that. So it's a very nice way, through sensory play doing that. And when the child is tracing, the school was just observing how the child has been tracing. Are they doing a top down A or is it a bottom up A? And then they were correcting the child. So again, as a school, it's up to you how you want to use it. They asked us, how would you do it? We gave them a solution. Are we the solution the entire time? No. Can we provide you solutions? Yes. The difference here is it's how you implement. And I'll give you a very quick example. We spoke to a school in Chennai, and they had told us the lockdown kicked in March. 1st of April to 15th of April, they had teacher training. And from 15th of April onwards, they have been running online classes till date. They used to have 200 kids, and they have 150 kids doing their online classes. And I was surprised because most of the schools I've seen have struggled. They have lost 30 to 50% of the students the entire time. And all what the person said was, we understood that we have to give our kids more attention. We had one-on-one sessions. So they had 70% of their class was one-on-one, where the teachers were just taking 20-minute sessions and rolling on amongst all of that. And they said we didn't have to do sessions every day. But that one-on-one thing alone changed the full landscape for that school, that out of 200 kids, they had 150 kids. Till date, they have 150 kids. So that is just something where it's every school and individual how they want to work, what they think is the right step. So we can help you. We can tell you that, this is the data points. This is how you can use it. Some schools decide to use it in classroom. Now, again, the pandemic is not allowed us to do it. But generally what happens during the school time, the school allows one tablet, one device allows the kids to do it. And it's a beautiful thing. And I would encourage you to do it, because what we have seen, and this is what I have seen when I did it for the very first time, at that, when I said I built 20% of the app and had taken it, I had seen this. And it was I don't know whether I've shared this with you, Sajid. It was a beautiful story where this 2.5-year-old girl, she was looking at the app and I thought she would not get it. I think she was 2.5, 3. She was young and her colleague was similar age. This guy was trying to do it and he was struggling to drive the car and move it from point A to point B. And she was telling him that you need to tap here and the car will move. Don't touch this, otherwise this will hurt you. You have to dodge this. And that guy was trying and he was not getting it. And her reaction was, oh, what kind of boy is this? Every time I'm trying to explain it to him, he's not understanding. And I just smiled. And, of course, we had parent consent. So I took a photo of her and I took a video. And I didn't get a video of that moment. I got a video after that because I was hoping some more gold and wisdom is thrown out. But she was just trying to help her friend and a colleague, which was beautiful. And this is what you would see to put it in your class. Use it as an activity, get the kids to interact. Again, limit the screen time. And, whether you're using my product or any product, I'm not worried. I'm just giving you, unbiased advice that limit the screen time, keep that as a little bit of screen, but move it out. The schools which we work with, before the pandemic and all of this kicked in, certain things work. When you take the app and you see that interaction with how the child is working, it also works very easy for you to pass it on to the parent and share it with the parent. How? Very simple. You just take a video of your child, of the child using it and how much fun they're having, and then you tell the parent that, hey, we're including this as a part of the fees in the next year and it's a compulsory thing. Why do you do that? Because from the back end, you're getting all your data, you're understanding, because they are in your school for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. After that, they are home. So instead of watching a Peppa Pig, instead of watching a PJ Masks or any of that, you'd rather give them a National Geographical channel. You'd rather give them an ABC Quest. You'd rather give them, to some extent, Dora the Explorer, right? You pick and choose from an education standpoint. Did we answer the question or you're not? I'm not sure whether you're happy with that response.
Oh, I think your question was well
Yes.
answered. I think this whole parent partnership and teacher
So I think,
school parent partnership is something which is very, very important. And I think this works as a good mediator between the two.
Yeah. When
I think
Sajid,
we
can
Sachin, I just
should
want to-
end.
down? Yeah, we
Right
should
now,
end.
Bela?
But people are asking for the link of the app. So where can they provide the link to the on the chat? It will be really
What if I
helpful.
put it right now, Sajid? It might just be
Yeah.
easier.
Yes,
Yes.
I'll just
Yeah,
do it.
I
right
think
away.
it's got lost in all the messages.
Even we have a request on Facebook. So after this, I'll put it on Facebook as well.
And
Right.
I'm just putting the link as well for the buy.
Yeah.
With the
directly.
code also, please.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very easy code, ABCD.
Yeah, but write it down so that everybody gets that. So
So this brings us to the end of our session. Thank you, Pawan and Sajid, for patiently answering all the questions and getting all of us clear of your app. And I personally love the app, and I would urge everyone to at least go and take a demo and try and see how it is going to benefit your child. Even as a parent at home, please buy this app, I would say. And to all the school owners who want a proper good discount from Pawan and Sajid, please get in touch with us and we'll connect you to them as well. So thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Sajid, for being here with ABCD. And
Pleasure.
we,
Pleasure,
Thank you,
Saz.
Bella. We're
It
just going to
was-
hang around. We're just going to hang around and put the links in.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm
please
just going
do,
to
yes.
do that right now. So
Yes.
everyone can have
Yes.
access to that.
and thank you again, Pawan and Sajid.
Thank you,
And
Amit. Thank you,
It
Bella.
was really very nice.
Hope there was value in. And again,
Definitely.
if anyone wants to reach out, Amit and Bella will be more than happy to share our
yes,
numbers.
definitely we'll share it with you.
Yes, we'll surely share. We'll make sure everyone who's watching and goes through ABCD gets the discount. So that's the point.
Sajid, you got the
Wonderful.
link?
Yes, I've just sent the link for the iOS and for Android.
Great.
Wonderful.
Download
Thank
the app.
you. And Sajid, you can just WhatsApp it to me so I can share on the Facebook group as well.
Absolutely right away.
Thank you.
Thank you. See
Thank-
ya.
thanks a lot.
Bye-bye,
Thank you, everyone.
everyone.
Thanks
See
a
you
lot.
all.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you, everyone, for coming for the show. And see you next
Yes.
Wednesday.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
See ya.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.